Okay, we're back. Lesson 17. Sis, you want to read this one?
Yeah, sure.
Please.
Yep. Thanks for joining us.
Yes.
Lesson 17. I see no neutral things. This idea is another step in the direction of identifying cause and effect as it really operates in the world. You see no neutral things because you have no neutral thoughts. It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that it is the other way around. This is not the way the world thinks, but you must learn that it is the way you think. If it were not so, perception would have no cause and would itself be the cause of reality.
Mm-hmm.
In view of its highly variable nature, this is hardly likely. Can we just unpack that a bit more, sis? Yeah.
Yeah.
You see no neutral things because you have no neutral thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So
It's
thought,
always the thought first.
right.
That's what comes first,
Mm-hmm.
not the thing that we seem to be perceiving through our eyes or through our other physical senses, right?
That's right. Yes, the world's not happening to us. The world is occurring from us.
By us.
Yes. Projected, our thoughts are projected, our beliefs. We're seeing the contents of our beliefs, and the belief was there first. The thought was there first, and then we see what we want to see. He actually says we put it there. Yes.
Can we talk about cause and effect?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, definitely.
The way that we're taught, or we've been taught through the ego thought system, is that we are an effect of those phenomena outside of us, right? Like nature,
Mm-hmm.
disease, etc. That they are actually the cause, and we are an effect, or we can be affected by causes
Yes.
outside of us that we have not caused.
Yeah. Health laws, heredity, natural laws, laws of economics. We're always just this victim at the forces that are beyond us, outside of ourselves. So we're molded by society. Interesting. But the complete flip of that is actually what he's pointing to. It is always the thought that comes first, despite the temptation to believe that is the other way around, or despite the education of the world. This is not the way the world thinks. They have not, it's not the consensus that what we're seeing is our thoughts, but you must learn that it is the way you think. Yeah. So we are the cause of what, our thoughts are the cause of what we're experiencing.
Okay, good,
Yeah.
good. So I see no neutral things anywhere because I have no neutral thoughts, right?
Right.
So he's asking us, in applying today's idea, say to yourself with open eyes, I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts. Then look about you, resting your glance on each thing you note long enough to say this: I do not see a neutral tree or a neutral body, whatever it is, fill in the blank. I do not see a neutral blank because my thoughts about it are not neutral. Okay. For example, you might say this: I do not see a neutral wall because my thoughts about walls are not neutral.
That's really interesting, that use of the word wall, because you would think that walls would be so neutral. You never considered, do I have feelings about walls? I don't see a neutral wall because my thoughts about walls are not neutral. Boy, okay.
I do not see a neutral body because my thoughts about bodies are not neutral. Well, no, they're not, are they?
No, constantly judging, having opinions, sizing them up, making, judgments about what good, bad. Right. So
As you
we already have opinions and judgments about these things. And so that's the way those things are going to appear to us, right?
Yep. Yeah. So can I just
Mhm.
talk about this? I mean, the body being the central um, central idol in the dream too. Yeah. Um, so if we are entertaining fearful thoughts about our body, we're going to manifest them, right?
Mhm. Yes. Yeah.
Right?
Right. So if someone seems to have a disease, that means that they had to have entertained the belief about that before they can experience it, which brings up another really interesting question. I think we could probably safely delve into it, but how is it that somebody seems to experience something that they had not actually thought of specifically? And when the separation occurred, the one mind that we share was seemingly, splintered out into millions of so-called private minds, and we call all the private minds this collective consciousness. So if it's in thought, it might not be aware I might not be aware of it at that 10%, but the collective consciousness somewhere in it, like if I went to say China and I was contracted some disease I'd never heard of, I'm still open and susceptible to it, even though I hadn't had the specific thought, because in that iceberg, in the collective iceberg, that thought exists. So we're really open season to whatever is included within the ego thought system. So if we subscribe to that ego thought system, we are liable to see and experience any belief or thought that it holds. I
Mm.
also have my own specific set of collective beliefs and thoughts that I've learned as this, persona of Coreen. But it's either or. But at any point, the thoughts that are in the ego thought system can be experienced, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
But you the gap diagram,
Hmm. Yeah.
what we tend to do, and what we do through the ego thought system, is we consent to collude with others in
Right.
the mass meaningless thoughts
Right.
that are actually not neutral. They do manifest in an outcome at the level of form. Right?
Right. Yeah. Thank you.
Thank you.
That's why it's so important to be consistently vigilant on what thoughts we're entertaining. And I love that truth that only the thoughts that my mind holds with God are real thoughts, so that when these thoughts come, I can know that these are not my thinking. They're not true thoughts.
They belong to the ego, right?
Yeah. Yeah. Anyway, we're diverging a little bit, but I felt that that was important.
I might just finish this last couple of paragraphs off here on lesson 17. As usual, it is essential to make no distinctions between what you believe to be animate or inanimate, pleasant or unpleasant. Regardless of what you may believe, you do not see anything that is really alive or really joyous. That is because you are unaware as yet of any thought that is really true and therefore really happy.
Wow.
Big
So
statement.
anything that you're seeing in there, which includes all bodies, we have not yet seen anything which is really alive or really joyous or true. Nothing in there is true. Nothing is alive. I love that. Bodies don't actually contain where life is. Yeah. Life is God. This is excluding God. So that's really we should highlight that sentence and set it aside but we're not yet aware of one single, until you're thinking a thought with God or the Holy Spirit, you're not aware of what a true thought is. And so we're not seeing anything as it is in the truth.
And therefore, we can't know joy or true happiness.
Right.
So that immediately brings to mind is that most of us here through the ego are seeking our happiness, are we not?
Here,
Through the ego,
where it can't be found.
where it can't be found. Seek and do not find.
That's right.
That's
a better body,
yeah.
a better body, a bigger bank account, a higher title, a bigger house. You know, what do you think that you're going to find in there that's going to bring you true happiness? Seek and don't find. That's right. Boy, I'm so glad we're waking up from that. How many lifetimes?
Forever.
Yeah.
It was like forever.
Anyway.
Okay, here we go.
Mm-hmm.
So for lesson 17, 3 or 4 specific practice periods are recommended, and no less than 3 are required for maximum benefit, even if you experience resistance. Ooh. Even if you experience resistance, the first time he's brought that in.
Yeah, we'll push down on the accelerator a little. Yeah.
Right? Usually he said, no, if you experience resistance, do less. Yeah.
We're apparently ready to push on.
Yes, we are. We're ready. However, if you do feel resistance, the length of the practice period may be reduced to less than a minute or so. That is otherwise recommended. Okay, so I see no neutral things.
Mm-hmm.
I see no neutral things because I have no neutral thoughts.
Mm-hmm.
Great lesson. Thank you.
Yeah. So we don't go through the world blindly through our day, and it is what it is. It's no, I actually have either positive or negative beliefs around the things that I'm seeing, right?
Mm-hmm.
Wow. Okay, thank you, sis. That's 17. Anything else?
Oh, that's good.
Okay. Thank you. Thanks, guys. And